Coming up in Loyola News Chicago, find out why Loyola is celebrating big today, student reaction to Father Garanzini's decision on divestment, and what do student votes have to do with Loyola's coffee supplier? You won't want to miss this.
From the Convergence Studio in the School of Communication, this is Loyola News Chicago.
Hello, and welcome to Loyola News Chicago. I'm Maria Shetkowski.
And I'm Julie Williams. Here's the news. The men's basketball team has won its first tournament title since 1963. The Ramblers played Louisiana Monroe last night and secured the college basketball invitational title with a 63-62 win. The teams were tied going into the half, but Loyola was able to take the lead from Louisiana with a 3-point play and 2 free throws. The championship caps the Ramblers' best season in 30 years. Hope Selman has more on what the team's success means for the program and for the university.
Loyola's men's basketball team won the most games this season since 1985. Longtime sports reporter Susan Castorino says this is great news for Loyola.
This is so exciting that they are in the national spotlight. Coach Moser has put it best, I would say, when he says there really are 4 national basketball championships, and this is one of them. This means they will have won another national championship. That will make 3 for Loyola. That's the original NCAA championship, men's volleyball, of course, last year, and now this one. And so it's fantastic national publicity for them.
Joaquin Carrig will have more on the Ramblers championship coming up in sports.
We have some major new developments about the story we brought you last week. Previously, we told you about the proposed divestment resolution to end any university funds going to companies profiting from occupation of Palestine territories. The Student Senate passed the divestment resolution on a close 16-15 vote. That was after many hours of emotional debate, and the room was literally divided between those for and against the resolution. But this week, Loyola President Michael Garanzini reversed that decision. In an email sent university-wide, he stated that Loyola is not interested in taking up the matter of divestment. Garanzini also said he was sad about that more dialogue between divestment supporters and opponents. He also called the bill a divided and inclusive resolution that pitted student against student. Following Father Garanzini's dismissal of the resolution, the student government has released an open letter condemning the decision. They believe Father Garanzini's belittled the role and influence of student government on campus. And the Loyola Divest Coalition has also released its own open letter, expressing disappointment in the decision. Loyola Divest called Garanzini's letter condescending and disheartening. Both groups are renewing their call for divestment by 2025. The results from Loyola student government elections are in, even though only 27% of the student body submitted a vote. Junior Michael Fasulo and sophomore Mariana Chavez are Loyola's new student government president and VP. The newly elected officers got to work this week, and one of the first orders of business is to implement the 2 referenda approved in the election. One of them is about coffee. Starbucks has been Loyola's coffee vendor since 2012, but in last week's election, 85% of the voters said they want the university to switch back to Metropolis, which was the coffee vendor before Starbucks. Metropolis is a local company that's also free trade certified. Students also approved the Magis referendum that would add $2.50 to the student development fee students pay each semester. It would support undocumented students who do not qualify for federal financial aid. But just because students approved the referenda does not mean they will immediately go into effect. According to the Loyola Phoenix, the Metropolis referendum might still need approval from the University Senate, and the Magis referendum will go before the University Board of Trustees, but not until December.
Indiana's new religious objections law has stirred up quite a bit of controversy, but state lawmakers have some changes they plan to make to the new law to clarify some key points of it. The new amendment to the law prohibits businesses from refusing anyone basic goods and services, facilities, or accommodations. It also states that discrimination of any kind will not be tolerated. However, religious institutions will be exempt from this part of the law. Most students find it tough juggling between good grades and a social life. Jessica Edwards reports on how some Loyola students are adding running a business into the mix.
Felice's Pizzeria celebrated its 3rd birthday with special deals such as slices for only $3.33 and free cupcakes. Felice's is run under Loyola Limited, which is a university student-run and managed business enterprise. Sean Connolly helped found Felice's while an undergrad, and now he's assistant director at Loyola Limited.
Since we opened Felice's, it's been a really interesting experience, I think. There's been a lot of challenges and there's been a lot of successes. The way that I look at it from a university perspective, it's provided a number of students with a really unparalleled experience.
Loyola junior Dale Gaughan is one student that has gained unparalleled experience working for Felice's.
It's a very client-facing role, so you really get to talk with, each department on campus, and you get to meet people you, as a student, you wouldn't normally meet or interact with.
The opportunities offered to students within Felice's range from pizza artisans to managerial roles.
I tend to think of this thing as like a business laboratory, so you can take lessons from the classroom and apply them there and actually see what impact it has on the numbers and things like that.
Felice's has definitely grown. They're making a lot more money than they were. They're making a lot of more customers happy with their pizza. So again, it's a learning process, but we've perfected the process, and you can definitely see that now.
Felice's is not just a pizzeria. It is an outlet for Loyola students to grow and learn and become part of a close-knit community.
I think that they're going to have a really solid 3rd year, full operating year, and the alumni and all of us that have gone through it all stay very, very close, which is really nice.
It is hard, but Felice's is a family, and that's the best part.
Felice's is not the only student-run business on campus. The popular Ireland's Pub is also run by Loyola Limited.
A student-run business is helpful for Loyola because it really allows the students to implement what they learned in class and use it in real-world situations.
The values and mission of Loyola Limited lie in the fact that their goal is to provide students with hands-on experience.
We're not training somebody to actually make pizza. We're not training somebody to run a hotel. We're not training someone to run a bar or a bike shop. We're training people to learn how to actually operate in the real world that they're going to go into.
Besides the experience it gives students, Felice's is also one of the late-night dining options around campus and draws customers from not just Loyola, but across Rogers Park. Jessica Edwards, Loyola News Chicago.
Felice's was founded 3 years ago by a group of students returning from the Rome Center. It's one of 5 Loyola Limited business ventures.
Writers for the Phoenix are celebrating after winning regional title awards. The Newsroom is already full of awards, all celebrating the work of student writers. The staff was out of the Newsroom last weekend while they were in Louisville to collect awards like Best Newspaper at a Large School. Phoenix writers are glad the paper is getting some recognition for their hard work.
We really enjoyed being recognized as the best non-daily newspaper, and then it really felt good to be acknowledged as the best affiliated website.
The Phoenix took home more than 3 awards and was up against schools from Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky.
We'll be back with more about the Ramblers Championship, but another Loyola team that had a setback.
And we'll tell you about a Loyola student who can bring inspiration to everyone. More on that when we come back. And as we go to a break, we want to point out that our commercials and public service announcements are not the same ones you'll see on just any station.
They're produced by students in our multimedia production course here at Loyola. We hope you enjoy them.
That was nuts. Crazy.
That was fun.
Crazy. You got some killer dance moves. You're tearing up that dance floor.
You weren't too by yourself.
Nah, I try. So what are you trying to do now? I don't live too far. Go back to my place, have a beer?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yo! What's up, Brandy? Crazy seeing you here.
Oh, what's up? How you been?
Nothing, just like slapjacks. Probably just gonna head home and kick it. Yeah, so who do we have here?
Oh, my bad, dude. We just met. This is Stacy.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yo, Brandy, you might want to double check who you're bringing home tonight. She might not be who you think she is.
What are you talking about? She's beautiful. All right, step aside, homie. I'm gonna go home, enjoy the rest of my night. Stacy, let's go.
Are you ready for that fun surprise tomorrow morning? Know Your Limits, sponsored by the state of Illinois.
The Ramblers are your 2015 CBI National Champions. True, it might not carry the same weight as an NCAA title, But the CBI championship was a significant achievement for the men's basketball team nonetheless. Joaquin Carrick has more on the story in sports.
Thanks, Julie. Loyola's first postseason appearance in over 30 years ended on a high note. The Ramblers held on to a 63-62 victory against Louisiana Monroe in Game 2 of the championship series to take the title in Monroe. And it was Devin Turk who kept the Ramblers in the game early. The guard was absolutely electric from long distance. Turk knocked down 4 triples in the game, setting the all-time record for three-point makes at Loyola. The Warhawks led for most of the way, though, thanks to the play of Tyler Ongwe, who finished with 15 points. Loyola was down by as many as 8 before Earl Peterson led the Ramblers' comeback with a couple clutch shots. Peterson finished with 12 points and was named MVP of the CBI tournament. The comeback was capped by a huge layup by senior Christian Thomas, and after a missed free throw by Peterson, the Ramblers win the CBI championship. It is the team's first title since Loyola won the NCAA championship back in 1963. In the first game of the CBI championship, the student section at Gentile Arena was as hoppin' this season since maybe the Wichita State game. Jake Mazenki reports on how the student population helped the team get to their first postseason tournament since 1985.
If you scan Gentile Arena during a men's basketball game, you'll most likely see Loyola junior Matt Anderson. Wearing his signature white Loyola hat to all the games, Anderson is a committed supporter of Loyola basketball.
Come to as many games as I can, so I come over break if I can. If I'm available during that time, I'm here.
Anderson is not the only fan who enjoys supporting the Ramblers. Loyola students have shown up throughout the entire season to fill the stands during Loyola basketball games.
Everybody knows some of the cheers and knows what to do, and everybody gets excited when we score, when we get a good defensive stop. It's a fun atmosphere.
Loyola men's basketball has truly had a home court advantage this season. They're 12-6 when playing right here in Gentile Arena.
Loyola fans have had a lot to cheer about as the basketball team has had its best season in 30 years. The players have even taken notice on how much better the fan support has been.
It's improved every day from win to win, and it's exciting to shoot a shot and make it and hear the crowd do that, and it just pumps you up.
The Loyola Spirit teams and pep band are especially happy that more students are attending the basketball games. Having more students to cheer with makes their jobs a whole lot easier.
I've been here for 4 years, and this is the best year yet. It's so fun. Whoa!
Anderson hopes that students will continue to be more involved during basketball games to make Gentile Arena even more energetic.
I think people can come, a little more, people could get a little more into it. Some people come and they just kind of sit and chat around, but sometimes when everybody gets into it, it's really exciting and even better.
Jake Mazenki, Loyola News Chicago.
The Ramblers drew one of their biggest crowds for the last home game of the season. Over 2,000 people were in attendance in Game 1 against Louisiana Monroe. Number 4 Lewis University seems to be number 2 Loyola's kryptonite this year. In a season where the men's volleyball team had coasted through its schedule, the Flyers have forced the Ramblers to a grinding halt. Not once, but twice. After losing to Lewis 3-1 earlier this year at Gentile Arena, Loyola lost in the exact same fashion. Thomas Jeske and company took the first set before losing 3 consecutively closely contested sets. Jeske finished with the game-high 19 kills, but the Ramblers couldn't hold on to a late 22-21 lead in the fourth set. The Flyers sweep Loyola on the regular season. The Ramblers look back to get back on track when they travel to Quincy University on April 10th. Baseball season is coming up, and Gretta Patrick goes to Water Tower campus to find out which Chicago team is the fan favorite.
It's an age-old Chicago question, one that has divided the city for years. Are you a Cubs fan or a White Sox fan?
Cubs.
Cubs.
White Sox.
Neither. Cleveland Indians.
Oh, Cubs.
That's a tough one. I like the Cubs, but I probably shouldn't be saying that because I have family in St. Louis and they're facing off against the Cards. So Cubs all the way, but probably shouldn't be admitting to that.
Well, it looks like we have our winner. The people of Chicago, or at least the people here by the Water Tower campus, seem to favor the Chicago Cubs over the Chicago White Sox. Gretta Patrick, Loyola News, Chicago.
You know, I would have liked to see a few more Sox fans out there, but I'm not complaining. But actually, you know, the Cubs are actually playing this Sunday at home against Wrigley Field against St. Louis. Are you going to go?
Probably not. I am a Cubs fan, but I'm going to be home this weekend, so I'm going to have to pass. But best of luck to them.
Yeah, for
Thanks,
sure.
Joaquin.
No problem.
Every now and then, you may meet someone whose life story inspires you and impacts your life. We met one Loyola student who may be your inspiration of today.
In many ways, Elyse Reed is a typical Loyola nursing student. She spends time in scrubs, goes to Loyola events, and hangs out with friends. Although her college experience so far may be what you consider normal, her high school years were far from ordinary.
I was diagnosed with stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I had no idea what any of it meant. The two words that I heard were cancer and chemotherapy. I've been roommates with her for the past 2 years, and she's been incredible. She has taught me so much about life and how to live it to the fullest, and she's really an inspiration. I now got my 5-year cancer-free mark as of this year, and there is just no words.
Her story just amazes me because I didn't really know someone so personal that had fought cancer and survived it.
For Elyse, Relay for Life is an important part of her life. The event takes place every spring semester in Gentile Arena and lasts for 12 hours. At Relay for Life, participants walk laps, perform, and engage in different fun activities to raise money to find a cure for cancer. Elyse holds the event close to her heart and is an annual participant.
Relay is a way to inspire hope in everyone, and it's just this atmosphere changes throughout the night, and everyone has the same feelings together, and I think that's the best way that we can beat it, and it's the only way that we can beat it.
However, her involvement with Relay for Life isn't just limited to her. The entire nursing department, including friends and fellow students, creates a team and relays together every year.
It's really great just to support Elyse in this event and with her journey, and to show that we're here to support her.
Elyse says she lives every day to its fullest and hopes one day a cure will be found. Maria Shetkowski, Loyola News, Chicago.
This year, more than $72,000 was raised by the 45 teams and 860 participants involved with Relay for Life.
176 new Divvy bike stations are coming to Chicago. Divvy bike stations are set up across the city and allow users to rent the bikes and return them at whatever station they end up near. Warmer weather means people will be able to get outdoors, so the new bike stations are coming just in time. Construction on the stations begins this month and will double the areas with access to bike rentals. More stations may be in the works for Chicago. The Department of Transportation is hoping to continue adding more stations. After 4 years, a Chicago man finally had to pay a $100 red light ticket. The man ran the red light at the intersection of North and Halsted back in September 2010. He has been fighting the city of Chicago ever since. It wasn't until this past Tuesday that the state appeals court ruled in favor of the city.
How did your Lent promises go? Coming up, we'll find out if people kept their word.
And we'll show you why age is not stopping one man from following his dream.
I had a really good time tonight.
Me too.
Give me your wallets and no one gets her.
Sir, we don't want any trouble, please.
Empty your pockets.
Wow. Those knitting lessons really paid off.
Life is full of distractions. Some are minor.
Crash, look who it is.
Others are more severe.
Many of us take for granted our ability to read and write. Katrina Lim gets an inside look at how one organization is helping those who missed out on this opportunity.
A place to live without knowing where it was. No.
George Wright is 50 years old, but he currently reads at a 3rd grade level because of a concussion he experienced when he was 6.
I got ran over by an automobile, so I had to go through the doctor, surgery, rehab. And so when I got in school, by being traumatized, my thinking was off still probably today.
Literacy Chicago offers Wright free tutoring 4 days a week. Although he's greatly improved the last 7 months, he still struggles with reading and writing today.
It's a challenge. It's a tremendous challenge. It's like living in a dark closet with no light, no daylight.
This nonprofit has been around for almost 47 years and is Chicago's oldest adult literacy organization. Sally Maybrook has been tutoring at Literacy Chicago for 12 years and says she is happy to lend a hand.
It's wonderful being a tutor because you feel like you're helping someone, and I get as much thrill and joy out of it just knowing that I can and am able to do that. So it's a privilege for me.
Literacy Chicago has a variety of reading materials to help students learn writing and English as a second language. Wright's difficulty with reading is similar to other adults' situations as well.
According to proliteracy.org, 14% of adults in America over the age of 16 read at or below a 5th grade reading level. This means that they would have a difficult time reading children's books, such as Judy Blume's Super Fudge.
With enough tutoring, Wright hopes one day he can pick up any book or magazine and be able to read it. Katrina Lim, Loyola News, Chicago.
Literacy Chicago's executive director says they have additional sites within the loop and throughout different Chicago neighborhoods. Today, the organization averages more than 500 students a year and nearly 150 volunteer tutors.
Another graduation season is coming up. At the grad fair on Wednesday, many Loyola graduating students dressed up and started to prepare for their big moment. Loyola students participating in the 2015 spring commencement came to the grad fair to purchase all the necessary gear for the ceremony. Many students had their portraits taken at the event. While waiting in the long line, students were cleaning up and tried to present the best of themselves in front of the camera. They're excited about the graduation and look forward to starting their new journey in life.
I'm excited about graduation. It gives me a chance to dress up and get together with all my family and all my friends, and it's just a really joyous occasion celebrating the hard work that we've all done over the past 4 years.
I've been looking for jobs a lot recently, and the more days go by, like somebody told me like the amount of days we have left, it's like 40, less than 40 I think now. It's a little terrifying, but definitely excited about it.
Life in school has been really fun. Learned a lot, made a lot of new friends. Faculty was amazing. Very nice experience. Life after graduation, I think it's a whole lot of new opportunities there. I'm looking forward to it.
Grad fair is just the beginning of the festivities. More senior send-off events are coming up in the next few weeks.
Coming up more immediately is this Easter break. Isra El-Hawani is here with today's Loyola News Extra.
Thanks, Maria. You know, coming from a senior, it's always good to have a break before grad season kicks in. For many people of the Christian faith, Easter is the most important holiday because it celebrates the resurrection of Jesus Christ. It also marks the completion of the religious season of Lent, when many people give something up. With the 40 days of Lent almost up, I went to find out if students kept their promises.
I tried my best to not, get tied down to little things. I think before Lent, I was really focused on like where I was going and like, I don't know. So this Lent, I decided that I was going to kind of just take life as it came to me.
I chose to give up meat, and I went through with it for most of Lent, but I messed up a few times because I just found that it was like hard to, keep up with it with the dining hall food.
I'm not really that religious, so I didn't give up anything. So I used to be though. I used to give up chocolate, but I would always break it within like a week.
I decided to give up sugary drinks. The beginning of Lent, I was like pretty good, but then towards the end, I started drinking like soda, cheese.
In addition to its religious importance, Easter has become a popular secular holiday thanks to the Easter bunny, decorated eggs, And who can forget all that candy? If you're really lucky, you could find a chocolate bunny in your Easter basket with real diamonds for eyes. The chocolate bunny with two 1.7 carat diamonds will set you back almost $50,000. It was created by an award-winning chef and contains 548,000 calories. It is about 15 inches tall and weighs 11 pounds. Can you believe that candy is worth the same as a Mercedes? I don't know about you, but I'd rather celebrate with that.
True, although I did give up pizza for Lent, and I'm pretty excited to have an Easter basket full of frozen pizza. Wow. Well, thanks for Israel for being here today.
No problem.
In our In Case You Missed It segment this week, the new host of The Daily Show is coming under fire for tweets posted several years ago. Trevor Noah tweeted anti-Semitic sentiments and language that could be offensive to women. Jay-Z has introduced Tidal, his new music streaming app. The service promises higher quality sound, but users will have to pay a minimum of $10 a month. And it's time to practice your improvising. Second City, Chicago's improv acting house, promised cat owners a class to teach improv to their cats. The class was an April Fool's prank started by the theater.
This year, for an April Fool's Day prank, Google let users play Pac-Man on Google Maps, and we decided to join in on the fun. We searched for Loyola's Water Tower campus on Google Maps and switched it to Pac-Man mode. The streets changed to the familiar yellow dotted grid, and the ghosts chased Pac-Man around the city. If you want to play the game, don't wait too long because it will only be around for a short time. I sure love Pac-Man.
Yeah, that kind of sounds like fun. Like, I would look into that.
Reminds me of my youth.
Yeah.
That's it for our news today. Thanks for watching.
We'll be back next week with another edition of Loyola News Chicago. Have a good day.
So many times I've been alone in my life, but now I found a reason to be smiling. You came into my world and then you turned on all the lights, just when I was really getting tired of trying.